Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good Thursday night. It is October 1st. So the tropics are finally getting more active, and so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So sorry I was going to post a video yesterday of what my stomach really hurt, really hurt. But I'm feeling better today, so yeah, we're going to be having, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and post every day this October. So every day I'm going to try and post through 31 days straight. We'll have to see if we'll actually be able to do it, but I think we will. So let's get started with the video. So the tropics and the Atlantic are finally starting to heat back up a little bit more. Not close to Africa like we did for much of we had a lot of disturbances in September come off of Africa, but closer kind of in the Gulf, not in the Gulf, but closer to us. We have one that has a 70% chance of formation within the next 48 hours and an 80% chance within the next 5 days. And so the National Hurricane Center is pretty certain that this is going to form probably by Saturday or potentially by Wednesday, but they think it's going to form right there. We're going to talk about where that is potentially going. And then we have one back here with a 30% chance of forming within the next 5 days. And that we're going to have to see where that is also trying to go. So we can see right now these are both of our disturbances. We can see we have one right here. By the way, yeah, this is our stationary front that brought cooler air, and we have another cold front kind of situated like this, with a lot cooler, drier back here, kind of like actually like this. So yeah, those are our two cold fronts, and these are our two disturbances. Now, what this front does to disturbance number one, the one that is closer to the U.S., we're going to have to see, which we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to look at two different models for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at that. So, first of all, we're going to be looking at the GFS model and see what the GFS is saying. So, you can see both of our systems, this is right now, tonight. We can see we have our system number one's right there. Our cold front, our stationary front's like that. And system number two is back here. And then you can see by tomorrow, system number one, potentially the next tropical storm, is right by the Cancun, and is kind of moving in this direction. And and so the stationary front is situated kind of like this. It's really weak at this point, but it's right there like that. As you guys can see, this likely according to the GFS model, this spins up and meets peak strength around Saturday as a tropical storm. Or not peak strength, and then once the front finally moves away and the sheeter kind of dies down a little bit, the GFS is just rapidly strengthening and hitting Mexico. Or not hitting Mexico, but kind of going right along Mexico's coast and bringing a lot of heavy rain to some areas of Mexico. We can see it actually, the GFS is staying really strong at 964 millibars of peak. And it has it peaking at around almost a week from today. So it is far out, though. So we're going to have to see where it goes after that, or if it doesn't do that at all and it just goes straight towards the U.S. So we're going to have to see what happens. That is kind of a big deal. Let's look at another model. Let's look at the Canadian model. Let's see what it is saying. These hours to load in. Right, here we go. It's just taking a while. So, yeah, you can see the Canadian model, system number one's right there. The GFS really did not have system number two doing much. But yeah, system number one here. And that's likely gonna change, though. That's what I've noticed with the GFS. Now, the Canadian model has this potential tropical storm being a lot bigger, a lot larger, and a lot stronger. And it has it potentially posing a threat to the U.S. and hitting Florida, the Florida Panhandle. Yeah, so that's not really. And so the storm system really has some good uncertainty with it. I think right now it's going to go probably kind of take a similar track to that. But where it goes after that, though, the GFS has it kind of going like that, but the Canadian has it going like that. So we're going to have to see what it actually does, because these two models are very different in what they're saying. The Canadian model kind of looks like Sally a little bit. Just kind of in strength and the largeness of it. Now let's switch over to a different topic. We've been watching this for a while. So these are our temperatures as of around 8 p.m., so around 30 minutes ago. We've been watching our cold blast for a while. The stationary front's kind of like this. That was our first cold front that brought the drier air, and our second cold front is kind of in this area. And so right now, Minneapolis is 49, or Minneapolis. Des Moines 53, Chicago's 51, Cleveland, Ohio is 52, Detroit's 52, New York City is 68, Fargo's 46, so is Grand Forks, Bismarck is 47. And then, Rapid City is 54. Omaha's 54. Kansas City is 59. St. Louis is 60. And the South is pretty mild right now in the 60s. And then the deep South is in the 70s. It's not really cold. If we go back earlier today, you can see that the lows, we had some spotty first freezes in areas like in eastern Montana, western North Dakota, western South Dakota, and Nebraska. I don't think some of these areas it's not been the first freeze. In some areas it has. You can see it's cooling off quick. Let's talk about that. So I have two of these tabs for some reason. Let's go over to the GFS funnel, and you can see that this is our temperature anomalies right now. You can see temperatures are much below average for much of the Midwest and down to the south. And then you can see that our second cold front pushed away. We had some rebounding of the heat or above average temperatures in the east today. That cold front is going to try and push those out. And by Saturday or by Friday morning, you can see the below average temperatures make it to areas like Atlanta. And so we have much below average temperatures for areas of Minnesota, almost 15 degrees below average. And then Friday afternoon, that moves further east. Then Saturday afternoon, you can see that, it shifts further east. Even the northeast gets a little bit in the cold air. And then the northeast kind of does stay warm. Then we're going to be looking at a warm-up as we go into next week, later in the week, potentially. And maybe another cold blast. This one could be a big one for the northeast. Let's see how that actually continues. So we'll talk about that again in tomorrow's video and see if that cold blast for the northeast and the east actually stays there. I think so far it's actually been kind of consistent. Let's see. This is Thursday, October 9th. Let's go back and pass them on our runs here. It's been the GFS has been consistent on it. And that is only 174 hours out. So let's look at the Canadian is saying. Now here's something interesting. Canadian model doesn't really have anything in that area. So that's interesting. We're going to have to see if the GFS actually keeps up with that. If the GFS does, and the Canadian model starts to have it there, which we'll see in the morning. A big warm-up for Nebraska. Look at that. Those temperatures right there are. This is Friday, October 9th. What is that temperature? 95, dang. And a dew point of 15. Wow. That is 20 degrees above average. It's pretty interesting. We're going to see that cold blast will actually stay from the northeast. And that's kind of after our first Arctic blast right there, which is the one we've been watching for a while. And we have a second one right there. The weather is starting to get more active. And even tonight, areas we could have some spotty snow showers. In areas like UP and Michigan and the extreme northeastern corner of Minnesota, you can see where we have our much cooler, drier air in this area. We even have some spotty snow showers. So we're going to have to see what if we can get any accumulation. I don't think we are. I think maybe just a few flurries. That's about it, though. We have our low pressure system that brought down the Arctic air in the northeast right now. Cold front's kind of like that. And so all right, let's see if we have any other big storm systems after this. Just tomorrow afternoon, the GFS has some thunderstorms in northern Nebraska. We'll take a sounding for that. Take a sounding right to the south and see if that is a thunderstorm. No, it is not a thunderstorm. Sorry about that. It's a little interesting now. So Saturday afternoon, it looks like we have some showers for like the Midwest all the way down to Oklahoma. You can see that is our potential next tropical system. potential next tropical storm. Next week, we can see our big warm-up, and then we have our big northeastern cool-down in the GFS model after a strong storm system hits the northeast around the 7th. Has the GFS been consistent on that? So you can see you have a 997 millibar hitting the northeast and bringing a lot of rain. Maybe a little bit of snow on the backside areas of Canada, but not really the northeast yet. That would bring a pretty strong cold blast for the northeast. So yeah, we'll have to see what that is. So that's pretty much it. Next week we're not gonna really see any big snows or any big snowstorms, any big systems until potentially later in the week, midweek until later in the week. We have a system for maybe the upper Midwest and the Northeast. We're not going to see that actually does happen though. Let's see, what is past GFS runs been saying about that? It's gonna take a while. Let's see the previous. Yeah, the previous one had a little bit stronger, maybe even like a. Let's get a sounding in front. It looks maybe like a severe thunderstorm right there. Of course, we're gonna add some pivotal weather now. Maybe some thunderstorms. Dews are kind of low, and the temperature is not really high. Cape, no cape at all. There are 26 MU cape. So yeah, probably just a strong rain band. And you can see, well, previous GFS even had some snow for areas like northern Vermont, or northern New Hampshire, northeastern Vermont, and areas of Maine. But the new GFS model run does not have that. So yeah, but that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and post every day this October. But yeah, that'll wrap up the video.